Hello everyone, it is Carrie and welcome to another crochet with me chill type of vlog. I'm gonna be throwing in a lot of random stuff because it is like towards the end of the week and I haven't really recorded a lot. I am in like full on market prep mode. I don't know if you can tell, but I've already recovered some of my flowers from these past weekend that I sold. I basically sold out of all my roses. I think I brought like 10 or 15. I really can't remember. I keep getting confused because I had that big order for like 8 roses that was like earlier in the week. I had ended up making some lavender Saturday and I brought 3 I think, and I sold 2, so I had 1 left over, so I went ahead and made 5 more to have 6. And then roses, so far I have made 10 roses and it's really just like in the assembly stage, but I've got like my sunflowers back there. I really focused on the beginning of this week trying to get the flowers done, and I did a few tulips and I'm gonna see how I like it once I like assemble it with the leaf and everything to see if I'll include tulips for the next market. But my next market is June 9th. It's gonna be from 12 to 6, so 6 hours. I've never done this market before. It's at a decent place, but I'm just gonna have to really see like what the vibes are. I can't imagine that it's gonna be super crazy. I'm hoping that like my limited stock is gonna kind of hold me over, but granted, I mean, it's June 9th. I've got a couple of days, but I have picked up quite a few custom orders, and I'll show you 2 custom orders that I finished. So actually a couple of days ago, like 2 days ago I think, somebody I knew texted me on like Thursday and wanted to get some things done and pick up on Friday, and I was like, okay guys, that's just not gonna work. I can't make the things they wanted. And then we kind of compromised, and so I had made 3 things. One of them was like a little mini tiger, a mini bee, and then the other one was a mini bear wearing a nurse hat. I have pictures of them, so I'll include it. I thought they were super cute and everything, and I was luckily able to like get it done in the afternoon. And then I've kind of picked up quite a few other orders. So I got commissioned to do loveys. So I have this like Winnie the Pooh lovey that I did. This is this one. And then I finished up this guy today. It's so awkward trying to show you guys some of these. This is a turkey. I'm trying to keep his feathers up and everything, but they requested like this color feathers for them both to be baby safe. They wanted like a neutral color body and then go crazy with the colors. So I got these 2 done today. This will be my second order. I got a website order in too, but I haven't heard from the person, and I keep emailing them and trying to reach out, but I haven't heard anything. Then I also got a custom order by somebody who had purchased something at the market that I was just at this previous weekend, and that is for 2 chihuahuas that look like they're pets. It's kind of like a tribute type thing, which I've done a few commissions before of animals that have either like passed or are older on in life. So they're on my list to do next for custom wise. But honestly, one of the reasons why I wanted to start recording something and to start getting content is I have been trying my darnest bestest to get into a store. I started this process last year in like December. I think I started looking for a store. I honestly got so busy with Christmas time and it was so hectic. I mean, honestly, looking back, November to like January was honestly a blur for me because I was just so slam packed with custom work for November and December. And then I don't know if you guys remember, if you've been watching the channel for a little bit, I also ended up getting through, I want to say it was like December 25th or something, 26th. I got through the Christmas rush, and then I got a huge order for the bouquets that I did that were college football themed. And I literally had like, I think it was 4 or 5 days to make 5 bouquets, and it was crazy. And then after, I think like the first week of January, I had like a couple orders. It was just chaos. And so I had been accepted in a 1 possible store, but I just honestly was so busy and I just couldn't even think about it. The store actually did close and relocate. So I did apply to possibly be in the new location. It's not opened yet. They were supposed to have a soft launch today, but then it got rescheduled to Monday. I'm supposed to be riding Monday, so I don't know. I might try and make it out to the soft launch and just get the like feeling of the store and everything. But I have been trying my darnest bestest to get into a store, and I have been turned down by a lot of stores. There are a lot of people who crochet. Some of these stores have literally just been turning me down because of the fact that they have items that are too similar. Like they might already have a crocheter, or they're in talks with another crocheter, or they do like a lot of plushies from like other places and all of this stuff. It's been a little bit hard in the sense that I know like none of this is necessarily me being turned down because I'm not good at crocheting. It's just because it maybe is not the correct time, or they may have people, but it's been a little bit frustrating just trying not to get like super down on myself, especially after the fact that I was able to go to my past 2 markets and be able to produce such a high profit off of crocheting. I'm like, okay, people evidently like my products a little bit, so just because I'm getting turned down for stuff like this isn't a reflection of maybe my work or what people perceive my work. It's just timing. But I wanted to kind of bring you guys along because I am not giving up. I don't really take no for an answer. I might like wait a couple months and then like revisit something, but I'm never gonna take a no. It's never gonna happen for me. I'm a impatient person, if you didn't know. So I've gotten, I think, turned down by 3 or 4 stores so far. Today or yesterday, I sent an application to the store that had accepted me before in December, and then like I said, I was so busy, and then they ended up closing that location and then opening up a new location. I sent actually an email to a store that is somewhat close to me that kind of does like gifts, home stuff. I just reached out to them and asked them like, hey, I don't know if you ever would consider like potentially carrying a local artist. So I reached out to them. We'll wait back and see if there's ever an answer. It's 9:06. Pretty late for me, but I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do a little bit more research for the night and come up with like 3 more stores that I could potentially reach out to in areas near me and just send a little email and see. My whole mindset is it never hurts anybody to send an email. Like, I'm trying to teach myself that if you don't ever take a step forward, then you really cannot like be upset if you stay in the same area. Like, I'm gonna try and do that. You know, even if nobody ever replies back to me, at least I made a progress or tried to start a conversation, and nobody can fault me for that. I just have to think it's like back when I used to try and get picked up for a literary agent when I was doing a lot more writing and everything before I got into crocheting. You used to like send your manuscripts and your cover letters and everything to like hundreds of agents, and half the time you never got a reply. Other times you would get the like generated reply of like a refusal or whatever, but if you never sent those query letters out, you would never even have any consideration to begin with, even if it's a refusal. The past couple stores that I've been turned down by, I have all emailed them back and just been like, thank you so much for your consideration and your time for like reading through my application and everything. Like, I'm so thankful for the people who have even given like a thought, even if it hasn't worked out. That's what I'm doing for the night. But I just wanted to come and say, like, if I start to go through this process of maybe putting myself in a store or going to view things, I'm definitely gonna bring y'all along. And then if I do happen to find a store, maybe I will be able to find a store that is open with me doing recording and stuff. Then I can kind of bring you guys along the process, because there's really like not that much out there in terms of this process. And I know that there's other people who maybe potentially want to get their stuff in a store, and there's just not a lot of information. Well, hello everyone. You guys are on my phone right now because it was funny. I'm taking you guys along this journey of me trying to get in a store and everything. I was actually going to make a video basically saying how I got turned down by another store this morning. Not completely unexpected. This whole process is just kind of showing me like it's really anyone's game. Seems like a lot of stores already have crochet people around me, which is, you know, whatever. I haven't been doing this long. I've just started really trying to push to get in a store, do all that fun stuff. This whole process has been crazy. I have been turned down and waitlisted by a lot of stores. Like I said, I'm not too surprised. It happens. Whether it's because they just don't like my work or whether they already have a crochet person. So the one this morning told me they already had a crochet person. They really liked my work and everything, but they were gonna have to pass. And in my head, I was like, okay, well, most stores make you sign a 6-month lease. So I kind of already knew. I was like, okay, well, that basically means that I'm probably not gonna have the opportunity to be in a store for 6 months until somebody like drops their lease or whatever. So I was very disappointed. You know, it's hard not to be disappointed, I guess, in these situations, just because like I really want it to happen. It's kind of a goal of mine. Some things aren't meant to be. But then afterwards, maybe like 15 minutes later, I was getting ready to bring my horses in, and then I got this call. It was from a number that I like had never heard of, so I was like, okay, I'm not gonna answer this. A couple minutes later, I got the message notification that like somebody had left a message, and I opened my phone and I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna see whoever left me a message, because I never answer my phone unless I know who's calling me. And it was a store that I had applied to a couple days ago. They were like, hey, we reviewed your application. We would love for you to come by and like walk by the store, see what we have for like spacing and stuff. And I was like, oh my God, that's actually what I'm getting ready to do. They didn't tell me to bring any plushies, but I just felt like it would be a good possible thing to have. It's kind of like a tour type thing. You know, they've already seen my work. I really do believe like there's a difference between seeing it like online on like pictures I submit and seeing it in person. I'm just picking out some items. I want to bring a variety. I think I'm gonna bring a mini cow, different price point items. That way I say, hey, if you guys want to see, I brought some of my work, and then they can also touch them, because when you can touch them and feel them, you can kind of get like a better sense. So I'm bringing plushies, and then I'm also gonna bring some flowers. Honestly, this is like kind of happening in a rush. Like in the ideal world, I would have loved to have like roses, and I would have loved to have like a few more loveys done, but that's not gonna happen. I can't do it. So I'm just gonna bring the sunflower and the lavender. I have a bag. That way if anyone happens to want to see anything, I've got some variety of options. I'm gonna stop at this store first that contacted me today and do a tour, and then I'm gonna stop at another store that's like fairly close to it, I think, that also does the same thing. And I sent my application into them. Haven't heard back, but I was like, I'm in the area, so it just made sense for me to go ahead and stop there. But I'm gonna get changed so I look a little bit more professional. 30-40 minute drive, I think, but we're gonna go there. We're gonna see what happens. Even if nothing comes of it, I'd still be pretty happy. I mean, would I be disappointed? Yeah, that's me. But I'd still be proud of myself for putting myself in this position to begin with. Well, everyone, it is a bit later in the day. We're at, I think, about like 8 o'clock or something. And I think I left you guys off with me going to the store. And I am scared, nervous, happy, I don't know, to announce that I did sign the lease for a spot. There's still a few stores that I had applied to that I had yet to hear anything from. The majority of every store I have applied to has been a lot of no's. There's really only one more vending store that I applied to that I had yet to hear back from, but I was a little bit worried about the price, and also I kind of feel like they would already have a crochet person, so I wasn't really holding out hope for that one. And then in terms of the rest of the places that I had emailed, they were all more stores that were close to me that didn't really market that they did vendors or anything, so I really wasn't holding out hope. And when I went to this store today, I was a wee bit taken aback at first by some of the prices. It was definitely higher than I personally was expecting for like a room, but when I sat back and like really thought about it, I was like, okay, it makes sense, because it was so much square footage, almost to the point where it was definitely too much for me. I think if I was not doing a lot of markets, it would be one thing, but given the fact that I am doing a lot of markets right now and I am also doing customs, I just kind of knew that I like couldn't do that big of a space. I could have maybe done it if it was like split in half. The nice thing is, it's like most things, is like if later on I was like, oh, I want to upgrade the space, I could, but I just frankly don't really have much time right now to do many things, so I decided to do a smaller space. It is technically like a end of a wall. It's 32 square feet, so I will basically just have things to put my plushies on alongside the wall, so I might not have as much inventory as I maybe thought originally, but then at the same time, I just need to be strategic. I was really thinking like some of my items doing little square crates or something, because you can put whatever you want really on the wall as long as it's like 6 inches off. If it's like more than 6 inches off the wall, that's not allowed. So I definitely think I can get a little bit creative. I was already kind of thinking like smaller items. I might actually go ahead and bring my Christmas items and maybe put them like at the top or something, just because of the fact that like people might want Christmas items, and honestly all they're doing at my house is sitting here and collecting dust, and I really didn't sell them at my November market. So I'm considering bringing like some of my holiday stuff, a lot of smaller items to get started with. Luckily I have quite a few small items, like I've got a lot of ducks, a lot of chickens, I've got a lot of leggy frogs, I've got some like axolotls I can bring, some clownfish, some dinosaurs, some cows. So I have enough stuff to like get started, then just kind of see. I think once I can kick out a few customs that I had picked up before this all happened, then I'll feel a little bit better and I'll just decide about market prepping. I definitely will not have as much stock from my June 9th market. This is my first time doing this market and I really don't know how it's going to go to begin with. I've heard some very iffy things about this market recently. I'm not in a bad shape by any means with my prep. I definitely could be in a better shape, but at the same time I have 19 days, well technically I guess 18, till my next market because it's June 9th. My contract for the store actually technically starts the 1st, but the owner basically said like if I came and set up my area, it has to get like patched up or something. So I think she told me I could start coming in like Wednesday or Thursday, but she basically said once it was patched up, if I wanted to go ahead and like set up everything and get inventory out, I was more than welcome to do that before the 1st. It was just like my actual contract would go into effect the 1st. With a lot of these things, it's like a 6-month contract, and then after you get through the 6 months, then it turns into like a monthly type of thing, which I was kind of hoping like I would just continue to do this through Christmas and then kind of see like maybe somewhere closer would open up. We'll say it's a very big place. It's kind of in a weird location. Like I didn't really think it'd be where it was, but it's a very big facility and has a lot of vendors, but I am the only crochet person that does what I'm doing. So it's kind of like really nice. The one that I decided to do was $67 a month. I definitely felt comfortable doing that even if I lose that money. I was just thinking like my YouTube could go help pay for it because I'm going to be doing a lot of vlogs and prepping for this alongside like my market stuff, just because it's going to be like a whole nother thing and a whole different experience. And I really didn't find that much about like having an in-person store when I was looking like on YouTube. So I think it'd be good to bring information and bring y'all on this journey with me because it's gonna be a little scary. It's $67 a month, which is definitely very doable. The next step up was $415, which was definitely more than I had allotted, just like because I knew that I was not gonna be able to recover that simply because I was not gonna be able to make the stock to recover it. A lot of places around me do their booth fees at like $250 or higher. I had gotten in my mind that if a room was gonna be, or a bigger area was gonna be like in the $250 to $300 range, I was gonna be somewhat comfortable with it, just considering that's what I am typically spending on my markets. But 67 seemed like a really good number to just test out the waters, see how I'm gonna be able to handle this all. Maybe as time goes, then I'll just see where I want to expand and grow, but definitely a very fun thing. So I've already started doing a little bit of prep. Like I started doing a few turtles. I needed to make turtles to remake for what I lost at the market this past time. So I'm making a few turtles to also bring along. I've got enough stock here that I can kind of get started there and then really dial down once I get through these customs and then the market. I'm gonna actually go through and make a list of exactly what I want to bring so I can just kind of check things off and I guess we'll go from there. But yeah, it's really exciting. I'm nervous, excited, and you know, I don't even know what to feel. Tired maybe? I'm just trying to think about like how I can get all of this done with everything else I have going on in my life. But at the same time, I'm like so extremely thankful and so grateful for all of the support. Honestly, I was talking to my mom today and we were laughing about it because I was like, a year ago at this time, I was going through such a bad time in my life where literally every day that I would wake up, all I wanted to do was just go back to sleep. Like, I just wanted the day to be over with. I used to literally count down the seconds and the minutes of the day until I could just go back in my room and just close off from the world and sleep. And now I fast forward to like this time. Now I want all the time in the world. If I could not sleep, I would not sleep and just keep working. You know, I like feel like every day I get up with a little bit more purpose now and drive, and it has helped me tremendously being able to crochet and to just see how much I push myself to grow and that I've accomplished things, because I really have been feeling like a failure for the last couple years of my life, even though I kind of know that I'm not necessarily. But crochet has really saved me. Having this YouTube channel has really like helped me out tremendously, because I can sit in front of a camera and vent to people and show you guys all the pretty things that I make and hopefully inspire y'all. I sometimes get messages on my Instagram about like people talking about my YouTube videos and everything, and it really makes me feel like I have a purpose to wake up every day. So I'm extremely incredibly grateful and thankful for everybody who is in my corner, and especially as I navigate even more with my life as things change. So it's 8:20. I'm gonna finish up this last turtle. I have one more turtle to do that's pink, and we will see what else needs to be done depending on time. I will probably write down the list, and if I have more time, then I will get started on finishing up. I had made body of 2 Pegasus in this color, and then I had started one in this like white and silver color, if you can see. So I'm going to have 3, and I was going to take 3 to the market, but with this I probably will plan on taking 1 to the stores. So we'll see, that's kind of my plan. And then as well, I will be getting done the custom order that I have in, and that kind of is I've gotten a few inquiries for some more customs, but I probably will close them down unless they're like orders of plushies that I make. I love doing customs, but when I do animal customs that are like realistic portraits of other people's animals, it is always tremendously harder just because it takes me a lot more time, and I have to really sit there and like think about everything being perfect and trying to match up the markings. So I'll probably hold off on like that, and then if I get any like website orders or anything, then of course I'll fulfill those. But that's kind of where I'm at. It's crazy. It's Monday. Let's do this. Let's make this week happen. Well, hello everyone. It is almost 9 o'clock, and I wanted to come on here and give everyone a little bit of an update. I honestly don't even know what this video is going to turn into. I think it's going to turn into like just me rambling on for like ever, because I originally was like, okay, I'm going to do this video all about like getting the store. There's no way. It's just gonna be another long rambling video, and I haven't even recorded the market overview. So I guess I'll show you what I've done today. I ended up getting a custom order for 2 Chihuahuas, so I got most of the body done for this guy today, and then tomorrow I will just do some like small adjustments, collar, all that type stuff, and be done. And then I have the second one that I started that is right here. I started getting like head done, got the ears already done. It's going to be this kind of like, I think they called it latte color. So I'm going to finish the head up tomorrow, and I still have to crochet the body, and I'm gonna finish getting that all done and sewn. And then luckily, guys, this is basically the last custom that I agreed to do. I've had a lot of other people ask me to do some custom work, but I haven't like agreed and gotten money. This person actually paid me, so I'm like, okay, I can't back out of this. And then I did have a website order that came in last week, and for the past week I've been trying to have an answer as to like what the person wanted, because it was kind of like a customized cow and everything. And honestly, today I was going to refund them the money because I felt bad because I wasn't getting an answer, and it had been like a week, and I had tried like emailing every day. I had reached out on Facebook, didn't really get any luck, and I was getting ready to email them and say, hey, I'm gonna refund you your money because I feel really bad having this money and then not making anything. And I kid you not, they replied So I gotta finish up basically those 2 custom, and then I'm gonna be taking probably a little bit of a break from customs. I've got like somebody wants me to do like a horse and some other things, but I literally can't do it. I kind of got the Chihuahua done. I got the body of another Pegasus done. Got some of the parts done for this other dog, and it's just like such a weird day. But let me tell y'all, I might go crazy. So I had applied to a vast majority of these stores around me just as little like haha funny type of things. And as I stated yesterday, I did find a place that I did sign the contract to lease. It's not like a massive space, like it would be very easy to maintain alongside everything that I am doing right now. So I signed the lease, and then today when I was doing some of my work, I got contacted by another store that is definitely a more well-known store. Like it's a global store, not just like a small business type of thing. And they contacted me about coming in for a tour. It is like 2 or 4 miles away from this other place that I just signed with. So I was kind of like, okay. And I told them, I was like, well, I just signed with this place and it's like 2 or 4 miles down the road. I was like, so I don't know if you want me. And they said that they still wanted me to come out. So I went through my contract for the place I just signed. There was nothing on the contract about distance between stores, because some places are like, oh, you have to be like 30 miles away or 20, some of this. There's no contract. Nothing in the contract that says anything about mileage. I'm kind of getting the vibes that like maybe this is common for people to have like places near to each other. I'm not certain. They're like 2 opposite directions, but they are still close. The place wanted me to come out and I was like, okay, well, but I decided, okay, I'll come out and I'll tour it and I'll just see what they have, because honestly, the prices might be like way more than I'm comfortable, or like the spacing might be like way more than I can honestly take on. But tomorrow I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna go. I think my appointment time is 12:30. Give you like 45 minutes or something for appointments. I don't know. I don't think I need 45 minutes, but I'm gonna go to the appointment, tour the store, tour the options, get an idea on pricing, and my mother is actually going to be coming with me because I wanted her to come the other day, but it just didn't work out with schedules. She needed to help out a little bit more with the barn. I wanted to go and look at the store yesterday. She's going to tag along with me tomorrow, and I think we'll probably tour this place. And that way she's there and it's easy for me to be like, okay, no, this isn't gonna work. Or if she's there, then I can sit down and be like, okay, girl, like, how much can I do? And then we'll decide if we want to go through with getting another spot at a different store or what. And then probably afterwards, because the other store is so close, I probably will just like pop on down there and then show her the spot, because we need to buy shelves and everything. I believe they finished patching it up today, the walls or something, but I need to buy shelving and I'm not in necessarily a rush to like move in like right away. I have until like the 1st or whatever. I'm definitely gonna set up earlier, but I was thinking like more Saturday opposed to tomorrow. But since it's so close, I'll probably take her there, show her the spot, kind of get her ideas, because she is much more of an artistic, organized individual than I am. I'm like very creative, but the organizing, making things look like pretty for a setup, is just absolutely nothing in my body wants to be that way. I'm very comfortable living in like disorganization. So she's gonna come with me and we're gonna see how that goes. But I just wanted to update you guys because I definitely was not planning on this. I was kind of hoping to just get like one store, but then it kind of presented the opportunity for this place and it's close enough where I was like, okay, well, say if I were to get another spot, it would be very easy for me to drive out one day and just hit up both stores. So we're gonna see. We're gonna give it a whirl. A little bit anxious just because my next market is the 9th and I haven't been able to accomplish too much. But at the same time, if I had to back out and I had to cancel the market, it's not always the end of the world. Like I might lose my money or whatever, but at the same time, I do have enough stock that I could probably like wing it. I just need to get these customs done, and then once I can get the customs done, then I can like full-blown market prep, store prep. As long as I have these customs, it's just like another thing that I have to factor in. So I just need to like get these customs done. So hopefully tomorrow I will get the customs. And then I went ahead and tonight, this is my cool down, I went ahead and made the parts for one of the orders. I wanted to get the flower crown cow that I did, that was the brown one. And so I got the arms done, and then while I was at it, I was like, okay, well, I want to bring one to my next market. And then I was like, I'll bring one to the store. So I went ahead and just made the 6 arms. Then I will get started on everything else probably tomorrow after I do the custom work. And then I also finished up like 3 turtles, but I need to still crochet their heads so the heads can be sewn, so then they'll be done, and then get all of the mane and tails done for the Pegasus, and then they'll be done. So lots going on. It's very crazy, very hectic, and I'm just like hoping that my body can keep up with this all and that I will have the time. It's like the timing is what's freaking me out a little bit, but at the same time, like I said, if I didn't go to a market, it would not be the end of the world. Would it hurt to like lose that money? Sure, but like I've lost a lot more money in the past to this and like so much more, the like $125, if it means that I'm not in stress and like all this stuff is worth it to me. So I'm gonna take one day at a time. I'm trying to go to bed a little bit earlier, so it's 9:06, so I'm gonna pop off. I'm gonna go to bed. My body is really hurting today, mainly like in my shoulders back here, my forearms, and some of my hands. But I will say that when I have to work with acrylic yarn, it takes a lot more out of my body than having to work with plush yarn, in particular with having to do these little dogs and whatnot. I really want to make certain that my stitches are really tight, especially with this black yarn, so you can't see like, you know, through for the stuffing, because I've had it before where I was crocheting like too loose with black yarn and then you see the white stuffing. So I really wanted to try like really hard to make certain that all of my stitches were like really tight. So it definitely hurt me a lot more. So I think if I can get through this custom with the acrylic, I think I'm just gonna feel a lot better, even if I'm increasing like my workload. I just think that I have to get back into the yarn that I know I'm like comfortable with. I'm gonna go to bed and I will take you guys along tomorrow if I can. This is gonna be crazy. Pray for me. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Or should I say good night? I don't even know. Seems to be that I keep filming so late. I think it is like 9:09, and I'm trying to remember where I last left off recording, and I think it was a couple days ago or like yesterday or maybe the night before. I'm not certain, but I think I left it at, I was going to look at a second store, and it's somewhat close to the one that I signed with the other day, but at the same time, it's like one of those things where the mileage is somewhat consistent, but the time doesn't really add up, mainly because it is like in a downtown area and there's like so many stoplights and the traffic is like horrendous. So even though it was like 5 or 6 miles away, it still took me like 15-20 minutes to get there. So I went there, I looked around. They ended up having a spot that was similar size to what I have at the first store. I think it could be like a teeny weensy bigger, but the biggest difference is the store that I originally signed with is literally just a wall. So you are allowed shelving and it can only go like 6 inches out, but that's it. Like you're don't really have a ton. I think how I'm going to utilize the space is I've got some shelves and I'm going to do like 2 rows of shelves, and then I bought baskets. I think I got like 6 baskets or something, and I'm going to try that because honestly probably going to be the best way for me to put like my small items, my possums, bees, anything that really can't sit very well on a shelf. It's probably going to be the best way for me to utilize my space because I can just fill the baskets up with as many items as I need to. The second one that I looked at had more depth, and it also came with shelves, already put in and like heavy duty shelves, and I could like adjust the height and I could add more things if I wanted to, versus I'm having to buy all of the shelving and equipment for the original one. So just right there, I think alone from like buying the shelves, the baskets, having to get all this stuff, because it is all hanging, so I had to get like hanging business card holder, hanging cards for like the safety thing and the care. I think that alone has cost me probably close to like $200. So that's definitely an easy way to add up. Like my original plan is just to come in, set up, and not do anything like too crazy, and then maybe later on if I want to like make the spot a little bit more fancy, I can, but that's definitely not my original goal. But with that being said, I did agree to sign on to a second store. Now you might be wondering, Carrie, how are you gonna do this? Like 2 stores, markets, orders? Trust me, I am wondering the exact same thing. So the good news is I had agreed to do, I think, like 2 orders, and I have been paid for 2 customs. I was able to get them done this week. One of them was a Winnie the Pooh snuggler and a turkey one, and then the other one was 2 chihuahuas that looked identical to dogs. I'll post pictures because I just like didn't even record anything with them because I was like so tired. I really wanted to get them done because then I could like literally for the rest of the time until like June 9th focus like market prepping, and then now with the store. It is the 23rd. My contract doesn't start until the 1st of the month technically, but the owner did tell me to just go ahead, come by, set up my stuff, get my things in the store, start selling things. It's just my contract like wouldn't actually kick off till the 1st. And I've already paid for the first month, of course. I think my plan is Amazon is supposedly delivering like almost everything tomorrow. So probably Saturday after I bring in my horses, I'm probably going to drive over there and get things set up because I would like to have it set up just with it being a weekend, especially this is Memorial Day weekend. So I think the plan is go over there, get things set up, fill up with as much as I have right now. It's not like a ton of stock, but at the same time, I need to like set things up and then see how much I can actually bring. But I think that's the plan, and then, you know, adjust as time goes. I've never personally sold in a store before. I have absolutely no idea how this is gonna go. Signing up for 2 stores is kind of crazy while also doing a full market season. So my market season is going, I have a market June 9th. I have one like July 14th or something. It's like second week of July or something. These are both by the same organizations. I have never personally done them. They're a 12 to 6 market. I think it has a lot of failure modes in the regards of like if it's sunny and it's hot, 12 to 6 in the summertime in Georgia, you know, it can be like 90 something degrees. So you might have people like not interested going because if it's hot or whatever, and the timing and it being Sunday, like I'm gonna be very curious to see how this goes, but this market actually made me pay entirely upfront. So I've already paid the fee. I had to pay it when I was signing up before I even knew if I got in. I got waitlisted for September for this particular market, but honestly, I'm probably just gonna tell them to give me my money back because I already have another market that month. June, July, those are my markets. August, I am going to apply once registration opens up to try and get into the Cumming City Center market again. That's the market I've done the past 2 times. We're gonna see about that. It's a single day market. I've done it before. That's my most expensive market that I typically do at $220. September, like I said, was waitlisted for that one market, but then an organization that I'm a part of kind of like showcases local makers and stuff. You have to pay like a monthly fee or whatever to be in it. They are hosting like a kind of art market with like their premium level members, and since I am one of them, I went ahead and signed up for it because it was really cheap for me. Like I think it was like $80. It was below 100 because I just remember being like, wow, I've never done a market before that's this cheap. I have that on my books. If I did it, I think it was like, that was beginning of September, and then the other market would be like a week or 2 after, but like I said, I'm probably just gonna like try and get out of it and get my money back. October, I applied to go to a festival. It's the first week of October. This festival is supposedly very big. I think I read online it's like over 20,000 people. We're kind of scared, but at the same time, I've heard from some people that the categories can be a little weird. Like, they don't really do the best job and like selecting categories to keep them small. I've never done that market before, so I don't know. Like, I only know the markets that I have gone to before, and that's really the Cumming City Center one, since I have done it now 2 times. But we're gonna see. If not, the market that I did this past weekend, or the past couple weeks, it was a 2-day market, is hosting their market, I believe, in October. So that could be a possibility, but I'm honestly not certain if I want to be doing a 2-day market with the November Cumming City Center coming up, because that one last year was like insanity for me. I sold out of so much stuff that I'd be worried about having a 2-day market close to that one. Just also given the fact when I did the one with the 2 days, I sold out of a lot of stuff and I must have had like 150 orders. It was absolutely insane. And I'm not even near like Christmas. So my concern is just like, as markets get closer to Christmas, I have to be a little bit smarter alongside with having these stores now. It's like a separate thing to think about, because, you know, my agreement with one store is 6 months. My other agreement with the other store is 12 months. Of course, you can always terminate the agreement. It's just more money. I'm not really the type of person who like terminates things. I'm usually like that one that like sticks out with it, even if it's like horrible and painful. Yeah, I wanted to come on here and just like give an update. I don't think I said how much the second store is. It's $165 per month, which is not bad. I'm at like a decent location. Like, I don't really know what I would say. It's like literally right by the bathroom. So I guess that's good in the regards of like people are always going by it, but I was like laughing. But at the same time, it was kind of like the one part of the store that kind of had this particular option, because I had a number in my mind of how much money I was going to spend for an in-store type thing. I didn't want to go over like 200 really, or 250, unless it was like it's like absolutely spectacular like place and da 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 da. A lot of the other spaces they had that maybe were like a little bit different area of store were just too much space and a little bit more money. Honestly, I just don't have enough stuff to fill a space that big consistently. You know, when I go to markets, it's one thing that everyone's like, oh my gosh, you have so much stuff in your booth. Granted, this next market, I can't promise anything. That's one of the things people say, but you have to realize that like that's one day. I can just prep a ton and make my markets or make my table seem like so full, all this type stuff. But like showcasing something and keeping it consistently full, especially since, you know, crochet, I do all this myself with my mother, who helps me with like the assembling of flowers and doing stuff like that. None of this stuff is like wholesale. Like, I can't go and buy something because I'm running low on it and just replace it. Everything has to be made. I really was trying to go for these smaller spaces, much more manageable, not that bad on the money. Like, I just had very set things. I definitely accomplished it with these 2 spots. I am nervous, excited, tired. I mean, I think those are just like my normal emotions. Is I'm also like a really low-key, like monotone person for the most part. Like, sometimes I'll be really bubbly and happy, but to be honest, I'm a very monotone person. I'm just kind of like riding the monotoneness. Like, I might be nervous and I might be tired, but I'm like, you know, it's just a steady, consistent. I don't really sway from this emotion. The only good thing is the second spot, I luckily do not have to open up right now, and I'm so excited for that. The person who is leasing the spot is in the spot until like middle of June or something, or middle of July, I believe. And when they said that, I was like, I'm so happy, because the last thing I wanted to do was have to open up 2 spaces and do a market within 2 or 3 weeks. I was literally stressing out my mind. So the fact that I've got until like basically end of July or August 1st, like they didn't tell me an exact date. They said they were going to contact me a little bit later on. They don't know about like fixing the booth and da da da. But the fact that I basically have like maybe 2 months makes me feel so much better First of all, I'm gonna have the opportunity to get comfortable with the system that everyone uses. The 2 different stores use the exact same system. So by the time I'm doing the second store, I'm gonna feel a lot more confident just in like managing things, knowing how to do everything. So that's gonna be really nice. I'm also gonna know like maybe what sells a little bit better in a store opposed to in a market, how much I should be stocking, all of these things. So I'm really happy that I'm gonna have the opportunity to do the smaller one first and get a couple weeks under my belt, and then come August I will switch and then do the second one, and then I'll have 2 places that can be shopped from in person, and then I will also be doing my monthly markets. And then of course I think from my plan is that January, February, March, I probably will be taking off from markets. I probably will, in December, January, February, March. I will be taking off from doing markets. I do not do markets in December, mainly because last year I was literally booked with custom orders from November 1st until January 1st. So I do not do December markets. So December, January, February, March will be off time. It will be stores, stocking up markets. As for next year, I am still gonna plan on probably doing a market a month unless the store thing just like absolutely takes off, or if I pick up another store that's like closer to home. Both these stores are about 40 minutes away from me, so it's a little bit of a drive, but I probably will plan on doing the market the month. And then also, I really want to try and get into a convention. There's a local convention to me called MomoCon, and I really wanted to try and go this weekend. But sadly, you know, having to set all this stuff up and get the store organized and opened, I will be unable to go. But there is another crochet person there that kind of does this type stuff. So I would be really interested to try and do a convention. I've personally been to this convention before. I am actually a huge anime lover. You guys might not know this. Manga, I used to have it all. I had like over 1,000 volumes of manga in my other room. Like just very big in that whole thing. But the convention cost is actually not that bad. So I'm honestly considering maybe next year changing some of my market plans a little bit and trying to do maybe markets that like I've had experience with like this previous year, and then maybe have one that's like fun. Like I think my main goal is that probably I will try and stick to single day markets. They honestly just work a lot better with me having to run my barn at the same time, because usually it's just like trying to find a little bit of help and not like a ton of help. But I do think probably at least once a year I will do something fun and either do a 2-day market or a 3-day market, because conventions are Friday, Saturday, Sunday. So I think that's pretty much all I have in this update. This is going to be a super long video, so thank you. I'm gonna have so much fun editing this. I haven't even done the market overview yet. With that being said, I'll try and bring you guys along a little bit, and I'll try and record, and you can definitely expect to see more videos about this whole process, and then this continuation of a process of having, you know, plushies in store. Do I think it's worth it? Do I not think it's worth it? What kind of sells better in storage? Can you get a little bit more money because my prices are a little bit more expensive because I'm factoring in commission and credit card? All of those things. I'm gonna try and keep up with making videos, because honestly, I was trying to find information on it and couldn't find anything. Now, I'm not saying anything I say is worth following, but it will be there. It's almost 9:30. I have to get up at 4:40, so I will see y'all not tomorrow, probably. Maybe tomorrow. Saturday. Well, good afternoon, everyone. Today is the day. Oh my gosh. We're on my phone camera and in the barn, so the camera quality's not gonna be great, but today's the day. It was actually not going to be today, but I'm dead set on today. I had ordered shelves, baskets, all this stuff from Amazon. It was supposed to come in last night. It did not. And now it's like, it may come in today. It may come not in today. I'm not having it. So I ended up going online, and I saw that Target had shelves and baskets that would be sufficient enough to get the job done, so I bought them. I still have to go pick them up, but it's actually supposed to storm here today, which is another reason why I wanted to go today, because I'm not going to be riding, and tomorrow is supposed to be nice, so I wanted to ride tomorrow, but then if I was doing this, it was just going to be a lot. So I'm going to be bringing my horses in pretty soon. It's like 9:40. I'm going to bring them in like 10 o'clock. It's supposed to storm by like 11:30. I'll bring them in, get the barn situated here, drive over to Target, pick up the shelving, and then drive from Target to the store, get everything set up, and then go from there. Because I really wanted to have it set up because it's Saturday and it's Memorial Day weekend, and the store is doing some sales on some other items, so like new people were going to be coming out. So I really wanted to get it up today. So that's the plan. I'm going to make it work. Pissed off at Amazon, but I'm just going to have to cancel the order unless like I get to Target and I'm screwed, and then I'm going to be really upset. But I'm going to get my horses food and put it down, and then I'll bring my horses in and we'll see how the day goes. You guys will probably be on this camera, so don't complain too bad about the quality because I already know it's bad. Well, hello everybody. It is the 25th and I officially today opened my first in-person store. I bet I've included some videos or something. I was trying to get videos when I was setting up, but honestly it was a little bit crazy and just like not crazy chaotic, but like I was so tired. We had such bad storms in the morning, and then when I got there I just like crashed out halfway through setting up, which is pretty normal for me. It's a pretty surreal experience being able to be in a store, and it's even more surreal to think that I'm going to be in another one very soon. I have lots of crocheting to do. I've been doing like small things today. I think I've gotten like 7 things done so far, but my fingers are really starting to hurt, so I'm calling it quits for the night. But it is definitely a very surreal experience to be able to be in a store, and I've got some updates. Very excited to announce that I have found somebody who's going to be helping me a little bit with editing, which is going to make my life so much easier, because the number one hardest thing for me about maintaining the YouTube channel is not actually recording the videos, it is the editing process. I kind of decided when I picked up these 2 stores that I definitely needed to start trying to find an editor, because realistically, there was just absolutely no way I was going to be able to do everything. So I'm very excited. I found someone, probably not going to be editing every single video that I put out, but the longer format videos will definitely be helping me. And I think it's going to help like a huge burden off my shoulders. So I'm very excited about that. 2, like I said, I am going to be opening, I think, the next store in July/August. If you guys are in the Georgia area and if you ever want to go in person and see what I have, then you can find both my stores. I usually tag them like on Instagram and stuff, but they don't have my full selection of items just because I'm working on a limited space, but they do have a decent enough range. I'm anxiously awaiting the day that I sell my first item in store. I'm gonna be like having a little party, but I will still be staying over here and just doing what I do best. As for the rest, I am going to very nervously pick up my sketchbook again. I am not good at drawing. I just really want to make certain that's very well known. I am not really that good at drawing. There was definitely a time in my life where I spent a little bit more energy and effort into drawing, and I do want to say it improved. If I have any pictures, I'll include them, but like I'm honestly not certain if I have much pictures. One of the things that I've really been having to focus on is I want to be able to start trying to think of ways to expand my business upon just things that I am hand making. The hardest thing with crochet is just the fact that you have to literally hand make everything all the time. You know, I can't make it once and then print it, or I can't do any of that stuff with crochet. I'm extremely grateful and extremely fortunate to have help with my mother. She helps me a lot with like the flower arrangements like you see in the back, wrapping stems, all that stuff. And then she also helps me with like sewing, finishing off. Extremely helpful, especially with the amount of product that I'm having to make. And if I have orders, sometimes she does them, usually like bigger items, customs, I will do the entire process. But like these small guys that we do like tons with, she gets to take over once everything's crocheted. With that being said, it's definitely been something that I want to consider trying to figure out ways that maybe I can scale up my business. I don't know if anyone would ever be interested, but this was a sticker that I had designed a while ago. I had actually gotten this printed. I have stickers. I just never knew if someone would be interested in buying it. But the whole design was like a mental health type thing. It's kind of what I want to do at the end of the day. I want to be home, my little brain in front of my computer with my cat, watching some like Netflix with my K-dramas and stuff. So I had looked into doing stuff like this before, to design I created and everything. And then I had somebody else help me because I just don't have that really good finite details. But I definitely want to expand and just try and think of ways to grow this business without it necessarily taking a lot of hard pain on my own body. You know, realistically, I love crochet and I definitely want to expand this business. I have really set goals that I really would love to accomplish by the end of this year, and I really do think that I can do it, but I just have to make this a little bit more sustainable and a little bit more having more revenue sources and having passive income, all those things. So I really have to try and think alongside the stores and the crochet and the markets, how I can expand this business. And I've always been very big into like the stationery side of things. Like stickers are really cute. I love my stickers. I've got car stickers. I have a keychain collection of like 50 keychains. I used to actually put them all on my wallet. And let me tell you, when you walk around in public with 50 keychains on your wallet, nobody's gonna be able to not notice you. Like I was the center of attention everywhere I went. So it's definitely something that I'm just gonna start trying to consider. And one of the things is I need to get back in drawing. It's probably been like 6 years since I really sat down and like put effort into drawing. So I have my trusted little sketchbook. I'm gonna slowly, I think, spend, even if it's like 10 minutes a day, just doing some general sketches and ideas and just kind of seeing and playing around with it. I mean, that's the big thing, is the more you can play around with stuff, the better. I always just have to close my eyes and try and ignore it. I've been very fortunate that crochet came to me so easily. I mean, I was literally selling my crochet work the week I started crocheting. Not saying it was great, but it was good enough that a lot of people were very impressed and thought I had been crocheting a lot longer than I had. But I literally turned around and was selling stuff a week into crocheting. So I'm very lucky, like with that aspect, I picked up crochet very easily. Writing novels and stuff, I've also picked up very easily. But realistically, I just do not have time to publish novels and produce novels. That's gonna be like way later down on the road probably. Not right now with this creative side. I write still, but I do not have the time to be putting out 20,000 words like I used to. I've just been very lucky that like stuff like that has always come like fairly easily for me, but drawing is not one of them. So I have to really like sit down and start just getting into it again. I love to do like stationery stickers. I feel like if I could kind of evolve into that, then that would be a great little small option to have alongside my other stuff, and I'll make some original characters. I have so many characters in my head. Translating it to the paper can be a little bit harder. I would love to know if you guys actually do like this design. I'll show it one more time. I have, like I said, lots of stickers of it and can print more. If it was something that like people were maybe interested in, then maybe I would even go as far as like starting to carry these stickers. And I had another sticker that was like head in clouds type of theme, all that type of stuff. But I'd love to hear y'all's thoughts because I definitely want to grow and expand, but I have to be like smart. Pattern designing is all right. I like it, but at the same time, it feels like it can be very crowded of a market. And my number one fear, it would always be copying somebody. And I see that a lot in pattern designing, which is definitely my fear because I just don't really, like, it doesn't interest me to copy someone. And I think it's very difficult not to copy styles if you're making a lot of patterns from one designer and then you try and make it, and it's just, I don't know, pattern designing, there's a lot of processes. I'm not 100% certain if that's like gonna be my big thing. I do want to design a few more patterns, but I want to design patterns that like I actually want to use, which is why I did the mini cow, because I do make so many mini cows. Like I've got a mini cow here. I just completed 2 mini cows. I've got like 7 more mini cows on my list to make before my next market. Like I use that pattern a lot, so I made it for myself and then wanted to expand it. I've realized that this video is going to be very, 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 very long, and I'm gonna have a lot of editing to do. I'm gonna stop talking and end this video. So if you guys like this video, feel free to subscribe, leave a comment, all that fun stuff. I'm so close to hitting 2,000. I would really love to figure out how to do a giveaway. I just need to sit down and like figure that details out, because I would really love to do a giveaway at some point, because I'm so thankful for everyone's support. And I am posting a lot more on Instagram, so if you want to see more daily content, make sure you check out my Instagram. I do stories, all that fun stuff. I post things a lot sooner there than and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. So I hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!